Answers from Olivia Chow with respect to the question, which is, will you commit to reducing student fares on the TTC? I was honest with you and said, no, I couldn't commit to that because we don't know the cost and we have other competing considerations, including the disabled community. But she sort of implied we'll put more money in and so on. I think what you're looking for is direct, honest answers and responsible answers that say that you're not going to commit to something sitting up here in a platform in front of a group of students because somebody asked you. And as for smart tracks, let me just finish one more point. As for smart tracks on the experts, here's an expert, Toronto's leading transit expert, who said, yes, some good things about Olivia's plan, but said smart track should be built because it makes sense and it'll be done in 7 years.
You have to start being honest. You have to start being honest. I don't think anyone out here believes that you would get better public transit without having to pay or invest a penny in it. I don't think that's believable. If it sounds too real to be true, it probably is too real to be true. And if you want something, let us be honest and say that, yeah, we have to invest in it right now. Let us improve services right now rather than saying that we will have to wait at least 10 years. Mr. Tory has been making it up. He said, you know, the downtown subway relief line would take 17 years. No. Chief planner said 12 years. He said his smart track would take 7 years.
My smart track will be done in 7 years, so it's 12
CEO
versus 7. Even if we accept your number. 12 versus 7. That's 5 years of pain. The people in this city need transit now because the traffic is a nightmare.
Just because you keep repeating it doesn't mean it's real. It's true. The CEO
expert in Toronto says some good things about Olivia's plan, but also says let's build smart tracks because we need it. A leading transit expert in Toronto and one of the best in North America build smart track. That's what he said.
You know what? That is so not true. The CEO of Metrolinx said they would take at least.
This guy is the leading civil engineering professor on transit in Toronto and one of the leading firms in North America. All urban, all the transportation action experts.
Let's move on. Not answering the question. Can I borrow that napkin? Back to the napkin again. You guys want to go on? Do you guys want to add another 2 minutes to continue this? Add 2 minutes to the clock. Very simple.
You know, let me just say one thing. You just witnessed what Mr. Tory did. He just kept talking and repeating the same line. Let me tell you, it is not correct. No, it is not. If you allow me to finish without interrupting, okay? Allow me to actually say one thing. He kept saying 7 years. You know, the CEO of Metrolinx, that is responsible for electrifying GO, said that you'd be lucky to get it done in 10 years, okay?
All right.
And
so let's
yes,
take it up.
No, I have not finished.
Well, I know you have not finished. You take the whole time.
No,
so,
you are the one that kept talking.
The CEO of Metrolinx said that the electrification of the GO train lines, the entire project, every GO train line in Ontario could be done in 10 years. I'm only asking for 2 to be done for smart track. The Kitchener line and the Stouffville line, they can be done well within 7 years. This man here, the leading transportation expert in Toronto and in North America, one of the leading ones in North America, says it can be done in 7 years. He is an engineer.
What corporation goes out and says to the board of directors, here's an $8 billion project. Oh, by the way, there's no engineering firm. This is on the back of a napkin. Who is your engineering firm?
There is the leading transit expert in Toronto and one of the leading ones in North America saying this can be done on time and on budget and that it needs to be done for the city of Toronto. So maybe so we could also just add to your question list. Why have you also failed to make the investments during the time you've been there? You tell me all the time about how you've been down there, although you were only there, I know, half the time. But when you've been there, why haven't you made it simple for people even just to buy, let alone Metro passes, student passes, and or just tokens using their debit card or their credit card? We've got antiquated 1946 technology in the TTC, and that's been on your watch. Why haven't we made those investments?
First of all, let's get the facts, because of your lack of experience, you've never been down there, you don't understand it, you don't understand the numbers.
I ride the subway every day, do You got lost.
put $500 million into the TTC.
And you can't buy tokens for the
last year
devil.
alone. And also voted against the Presto. I don't believe in that. I believe that you should be able to go up with any card. But I fought against that. But you weren't there. You don't know. You don't understand the
Do you
system.
actually take TDC?
You have to have experience. I don't have a token on. I don't have a token on. The reason he took the subway, his chauffeur was on vacation and his limousine was being fixed. That's the problem.
Every day, Doug. You only go on the subway and you got lost. Every day I take it. There's a token for you too, Doug. I want you to have one so you don't feel left out.
I'll give you one.
Well, I talked about earlier the need to build affordable housing. And we can do that by telling the developers that when they build the towers, that 20% of the building needs to be affordable. If they do that, we can defer the development charges and also will speed up the approval process so that they could be building housing that's affordable for everyone. That's important. Number two, that's what's important is let us build more rental housing because we have not built enough rental housing in the city. Condos only, not the answer. We need more rental housing. Yes.
Well, Olivia, I've said before, we share the same passion. You and I share the same passion because you and I have actually went into TCHC housing. Unlike my friend to the right, that has never goes into TCHC housing. Matter of fact, I probably go in there probably 2 or 3 times a week. I am passionate. I'm not going to debate you on this. I'm going to congratulate you for having the same views about helping the people that need help the most. And the way you do that is by making sure your financial foundation in the city is strong until you can go and put that money back into the community housing.
Is the fact that one of the things we're doing in allowing development to proceed in the city is not asking and insisting on answers to the questions as those developments are approved. What about schools? What about parks? What about transit? We're letting the development happen without insisting that those things accompany the development, and that's one of the reasons why people feel that we're in a situation where we've had too much development too fast because there isn't the infrastructure to support it.
Hello, my name is Evan Carr. I'm a marketing student at George Brown. My question is for Doug Ford. Doug, I suffer from Asperger's, which for those of you who aren't aware today is a form of autism. Earlier this year, you had made some comments about a group home for autistic children in your community. I never usually get too offended about stuff, but the fact that you reduce people like me to animals and common criminals is really insulting. So, what I'm asking is for you to either explain yourself or apologize.
I have a record of over 20 years. Unlike Mr. Tory, I belong to the Rotary Club. The work we have done with all sorts of folks that may have disabilities, I've worked day in and day out to help people like yourself. Let's talk about the story there for a minute. Actually, the truth of the matter is, there wasn't any kids with autism in that house. That was very clear. That was very clear. The police were being called every single second day. The fire trucks were showing up every second day. The windows were being smashed out. There was kids wandering down the street in people's backyards. I can assure you, Evan, my heart goes out to you. I've helped numerous families up to last week. I won't name their last name, but Paul and Carla came to me. They have 2 kids with autism. They couldn't find a place for their son to be taken care of. I stepped up to the plate. And on top of that, there's other organizations in the city that I've supported. So my heart goes out to you. I've helped numerous kids. And I think the media kind of misled the story a little bit. Totally.
Tony,
The first three questions that I'm going to ask were submitted by students who were unable to attend. The first question is from Mauricio Castano, who's a marketing student. His question is as follows. Throughout the campaign, each of you have commented on unemployment. The truth is young people are facing tough situations in an oversaturated job market. Competition for jobs is fierce. Students are finding it harder than ever to find an actual paying job in the city after graduation. How can you help alleviate this problem with a realistic solution? And Olivia Chow will be the first one to answer this question. Please, Chair.
So that's a very good question. I talked earlier about using city's investment to go to the companies that are doing business with the city to make sure that they hire some young people. Any contracts, yes, that will create jobs. It's a concrete plan.
When you apply for a job, you don't leave 8 years of your resume out that Mr. Tory left out with Charter Communications that had a $20 billion bankruptcy, one of the largest in North America, and he hasn't been transparent about it. It shows his character. $20 billion bankruptcy. He was at the helm.
Well, I would just say on that note that Mr. Ford's Tea Party politics that you just heard from him on doesn't answer the question one iota as to how you'll create a single job for a young person in this province or in the city of Waterfront. I started by saying I will double the city's most effective youth employment program called Pay, double in the first year the number of companies participating in that, which will create hundreds in each of the years of new opportunities for young people. Secondly, in the end, what we're going to have to do is engage more and more small and medium-sized businesses who find it hard right now to create the opportunities many of you will have as part of your education to have a placement, a co-op, a paid position.